What awaits when God's prophecy unfolds? Have you ever wondered what truly happens when a divine prophecy unfolds before us? Imagine, for a moment, a traveler walking through an endless desert, with blistered feet and thirst consuming every thought. He presses on, guided only by a promise. At the end of this journey, you will find a river of living water. At first, the words of the promise seemed distant, almost unreachable. But when his eyes finally see the river, he realizes that every step of the journey made sense. This is what it feels like when God's prophecy is fulfilled in our lives. God's promises are like perfectly crafted maps. They don't give us all the details of the journey, but they assure us of the destination. And here's the most exciting part. When prophetic words finally come to life, we understand that it's not just the destination that matters, but everything we learned, overcame, and became along the way. Think of the great biblical events that began as promises. Abraham awaiting the birth of Isaac, the Israelites longing for the promised land, or Mary receiving the news that she would carry the Savior of the world. Each of these moments came with challenges. The waiting often felt long, even painful, but when God spoke, He fulfilled. And when He fulfills, it's not just a transformation in our lives, but in everything around us. But what does this mean for us today? It means that every promise God has made in His Word is alive and active. You might be going through a storm right now, wondering if the rainbow of promise will ever appear. Perhaps you're waiting for something God placed in your heart, a healing, a reconciliation, an open door that has seemed locked for years. Or maybe you're simply looking for signs that He is still working in your life. The beauty of God's prophecies is that they are not bound by human time. Isaiah declared that the Messiah would come centuries before Jesus' birth, and when it finally happened, it was greater, more powerful, and more transformative than anyone could have imagined. This teaches us that, even when it seems like God is silent, He is working behind the scenes. Every detail is being aligned, and when the moment comes, everything happens so perfectly that we can only say, this can only be God. And here's the most wonderful part. When the prophecy is fulfilled, it's not just the promise that becomes real, but God Himself becomes more tangible in our lives. We feel His hand, hear His voice, and realize that He never left us. Today, I invite you to trust in the promise. The waiting may seem endless, but remember, when God speaks, He fulfills. And when He fulfills, He transforms. Hold on, because what awaits us is far greater than we can imagine. If this message touched your heart, share it with someone who needs to hear it too. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more messages of faith and hope.